Hey guys, we're back. We're going to talk about section 3.3B. So remember, if we know that cosine theta is x over r and sine theta is y over r, if I'm trying to get this x by itself, we are going to multiply that r away from it. When that x becomes isolated, it's just r times the cosine of theta. And for y, if I'm trying to get it by itself, I'm going to multiply both sides by r, and we get y equals r times the cosine of theta. Since we know that we can always find the cosine and sine, so this is supposed to be a sine, my bad. Don't forget y is sine. Here on the unit circle, if r is 1, that's great, but what if it's not? So remember, x comma y is cosine comma sine, if that's a unit circle. But if it's x comma y, that's r cosine theta comma y, which is r times the sine of theta. Okay, so we're going to use this to be able to find some values where it's not a unit circle. So if I'm looking for the coordinate of the point of the intersection on the circle, I'm looking for x comma y. So if I'm looking for x, remember it's r cosine theta, and y is r sine theta. Well, here they're telling me theta is 5 pi over 6, so that's going to go right here for theta, and that r is 6, which is going to replace the radius. So we say 6 times the cosine of 5 pi over 6, and 6 times the sine of 5 pi over 6. Okay, so remember 5 pi over 6 is right here, and that point around the circle on a unit circle is root 3 over 2, negative root 3 over 2, comma 1/2. So we know that 6 times negative root 3 over 2 and 6 times 1/2. Simplify this. I know this reduces. This becomes negative 3 root 3, and this y is just 3. So my coordinate, x comma y, is negative 3 root 3, comma 3. Let's look at the next one. So to find x comma y, we say x is r cosine theta, y is r sine theta. In this case, theta is pi over 3, the r is 7. So we say x equals 7 times the cosine of pi over 3, and y is 7 times sine of pi over 3. So to answer this, we have to know where pi over 3 is. We know it's about right here. That point, x comma y at pi over 3, is 1/2 root 3 over 2. So this becomes 7 times cosine is 1/2, and this y is 7 times root 3 over 2. This is going to be 7 over 2, and y is 7 root 3 over 2. So my coordinate is 7 over 2, comma 7 root 3 over 2. Next two. If I want to know what the values of theta and r are, so remember x comma y here. Whoopsie. So let's go ahead and sketch this out. So I know positive root 2 over 2, down root 2 over 2, that's right here. I know where that angle is, okay? So if I know as x equals r cosine theta and y equals r sine theta, well, this is root 2 over 2, and this is negative root 2 over 2. We've seen that before where the radius is 1. And we know this angle has to be 45 degrees, or that pi over 4 in the fourth quadrant. So we know that's 7 pi over 4. Okay, so this is going to be, the radius is 1 because it's from the unit circle, and the theta is 7 pi over 4. All right, let's look at this next one. Now this one's a little different. Let's look here. So we go negative 3 root 3 over 2, comma negative 3 over 2. Now these values do look really similar. Over 2 and root 3 over 2 look a lot like that unit circle. If I were to divide both of these by just 3, like as in if the radius was 3, I could say, well, that would be like saying, if this was a unit circle, this would be like negative 1/2, and this would be negative root 3 over 2. That looks like the point if theta was 4 pi over 3. So we know the radius is going to be 3, and theta equals 4 pi over 3. Last one, we go negative 2 up to root 3. So we look at that right here. Notice how, if this is 2 root 3, those values look really, really similar. If they look familiar from our unit circle. Okay, so if I'm looking at that, in order to make this look like something in the unit circle, like a root 3 over 2, that's like saying it's being multiplied by 4 to get that 2 in front of it. So if I know that this radius is 4, if I were to divide each side by 4, this would become that root 3 over 2 that we were talking about, and negative 2 divided by 4 would be negative 1/2 on the unit circle. So if the radius is 4, that theta would be corresponding to a negative 1/2 comma root 3 over 2, which is going to be that 2 pi over 3. All right, that's it. See you next time.